everyone, welcome to today's musings. I'd like to talk a little bit about the Sermon on the Mount. Now clearly that is a very long sermon, so I'm just going to highlight some of the amazing things in that part of the New Testament and hope that you will get back and look for yourself. It's the first few chapters of Matthew, and it's, I think, three altogether, 3 chapters, but you'll be able to check that out. Here's how it sounds at the beginning. Now, when Jesus saw the crowds, he went up on a mountainside and sat down. His disciples came to him, and he began to teach them. He said, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called the children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you and persecute you falsely, and say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you." Now this was just the beginning part of the Sermon on the Mount. And when I'm leading this in one of the services, I say things like that. How on earth did people hear Jesus saying this? There were thousands of people when he spoke about this idea of blessing others and being kind to others. Well, the answer, of course, is simple. He was talking to their hearts. And at the time, it was a pretty rough time. And that's exactly why Jesus came on earth, was because of how foul the world had become. There was no more freedom. People were held wrongly in jails and so forth. It was a very dark time on earth. And that's exactly why Jesus came on earth. We've just celebrated Christmas. One of the darkest times of the year is the Christmas time. It's one of the, actually I think December 21st is the shortest day. And it illustrated exactly what was happening in the world. That bad things were happening, that people were no longer kind to each other. We had kings like Herod, who were evil through and through. And of course, when he couldn't find Jesus as a baby, he was quite ready to go out and slaughter all the children under 2. Can you imagine how awful that was? So when Jesus came, of course, he was only around really for 3.5 years, but those were very important years, and that opened the way for people to be able to find heaven again. Before that, they were totally unable to. And that is why Jesus came on earth. So I hope you'll take the opportunity of looking at the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew. It starts Matthew 1. And read that. I had a gentleman on my service some years ago who said, "What else is there to say?" when I read him the whole of the Sermon on the Mount. There are shorter parts of it in other parts of the New Testament, but I think that summarizes everything beautiful about heavenly things, and I hope you will enjoy that too. May God be with you all. Amen.